Hold up, I'm just finishing off my tea. Oh, how is everyone? Good to see you all. Well, see that outside, can hear her. Sorry, darling. What? I'm fine, thanks very much. How are you?
Oh, you aren't. Say hello to everyone.
She just asked me to say hello to everyone for her behalf. Right. Well, this is coming along, isn't it? I had the first bit of acceptance yesterday for my beard from Mrs. Beattie. She actually, pardon? Oh, it's Watson. She actually bought me a beard kit. Watson's just come over here. He's basically coughed and walked off again. That's all I am to him. That's all I am to him. Is somewhere to cough near. Kate Middleton. Hello, Carl. How are you? I'm fine, thanks. How's Will? You've not heard that before, have you? Right, yeah, I've just wolfed my tea down. And it was lovely. It was really nice. How's your day been? It's been absolutely beautiful. The weather has been stunning. A little bit too hot. Now, I suppose I could show you. I've actually fixed the birdhouse. Ah, Peter, you're a sexy beast yourself. There you go, Peter. You are a sexy beast. It's weird, and it should go in the centre. It should be there, Peter. That's pointing directly at you now, Peter. Yeah, that's to you. Oh, let me go and show you the birdhouse. Hang on. Kind of hoping that I'm not going to lose any signal. What you have got is Watson sitting on the. We're just taking these down, so he's decided to sit on them. That's him. And go and have a look over here. It's back up again. It's actually back up. I finished it today. It's back up. Yeah. Yes. So all of those who ye of little faith who didn't think it was going to happen, it's happened. And it's very sturdy. Put my glasses back on so I can read the comments. Oh, hang on. That's right. Let me go around back in here and take you back into here. Right. Let's sit down so we can have a proper chat. Good old chin wag. Katie Lester, how are you, Katie? Sorry for the lateness. Did the moment of silence for those we lost. Yeah, so did I. That's why I was a little bit late on. I was eating, and then I had a break in my eating because of the moment of silence. I didn't come on till I think it was about 5 past, I think, which is good. But we should always respect everyone we've lost, I think. So how's everyone's day been? It's I fixed that today. My duck house is finished after a long slog of making it. I actually loved my duck house doing it because I used all my dad's old tools, and I lost my dad a few years ago, and he was a carpenter joiner. He trained as a cabinet maker, and he was absolutely superb. He could make anything out of wood, and he was absolutely brilliant. He really truly was a master craftsman, sort of old school days. And so my mum asked me if I wanted his tools, because obviously my mum's not going to use them, and so of course I did, and I've used them every now and then, but I didn't really like using them because it's my dad's stuff, and when we were kids we were always told not to go anywhere near your dad's stuff, and so when I started to do that, I thought, do you know what? I'm actually trying to sneak by and out that door. It's failing because everyone can see the door opening. Oh, and there's a handy way of getting upstairs. And so when I started to do the duck house, I decided I mean, when I did the dovecot originally, the first one, out of old stuff, I used lots of different stuff, but I decided to use mainly my dad's stuff on the duck house, and I was really proud to be able to use his stuff, do it old school. I mean, I did use some power tools. I used a screwdriver as much as I could, but I did use a power screwdriver and obviously a power drill and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, anyway, it was great. Enough about that. Now, Jason just asked me, I've lost it now, Jason, but oh, here we go. Shout out to JKTS, Jason Kershaw, Technical Services, please, Carl. That is a shout out. I hope you're well, my friend. I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone in the world is well. So Yvette's just come past again. The Flying Kiwi, hello, how are you? Katie Lester, oh, hang on. Katie, I'm okay. She's on new medication and it makes her feel a bit weird. I'm not on medication and I generally feel weird. Did you check up on the footage of the black mass I told you about? No, we are looking at that. I haven't had time yet, and that's actually bad of me because I should have done by now. But I promise you, I'll get on that tomorrow. Now you've reminded me, I'll actually put a note out. Actually, let me just get a piece of paper and I'll give myself a note. Let's put black mass. Katie. There we go, Katie. I've written that down, so I shall remember that tomorrow. And hopefully next time we chat, I'll be able to give you some. Natalie Moon. It's Natalie's birthday tomorrow. Let's all wish Natalie a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Natalie. Now, I don't normally drink wine, but Yvette poured me some, so here we go. I prefer a cup of tea. Yeah, happy birthday. Yeah, good. Everyone's wishing Natalie happy birthday, which is really nice. Well done, guys. Yeah, Lewis. Yeah, I'm not a huge alcohol fan. I don't mind the odd. It's a really hot day. I'll have a cider. But I'm a bit. I like all that sweet, flavoured cider rubbish. I'm not really a purist. I have been in the past. When we've been down in Dorset, a good friend of mine and a guy I've known for years, we went on holiday down in Dorset and we had some cider down there, but it really was great cider. Again, didn't have too much of it, but it was great. What wine do I drink? I don't drink that much wine. I think Yvette, she doesn't drink a lot of wine, but she does drink wine. When are we getting a most haunted ghost hunt? Well, when we're allowed to do it, I guess. All the locations of has got different ideas of what they can do and can't do. So a lot of locations they won't let people in, which is fair enough. And you have to respect that, whether you agree with it or not. You have to respect it, and I do. So when it's all sorted, we'll be out and about again. Would you go to the Amityville house? Do you know what? The Amityville house? Yes, I would. The troubles with the Amity house is there's so much sort of controversy about it being real. You know, is it really haunted? Was it made up? And I know there was a picture of a boy sort of taken, and I'm pretty sure that was the people who sort of made that up came forward and said they did. And the trouble is with the murders that went on, it was just a murder. It was a mass murder. It was obviously a hugely sick individual at the time. Killed his family, and I don't think it wasn't a devil. It wasn't a ghost that made him do it. It was just, it was just that. But yeah, I mean, if it is haunted, of course, I'd go there. I'll go anywhere that's haunted because it's what I like to do. Right, crumbs. There's so much coming up. Sorry if I don't read your your question. Just send it again, because it goes too fast, and I'm kind of yeah, the Copperbergs. Yeah, that's the ones I like. But Veggie Patch, yeah, Veggie Patch is good. I actually had my dinner tonight. I had some of the lettuce that we've been growing. Unfortunately, the onions, yeah, they're about the size of a grape, a small seedless grape. Helena, love you guys, and most haunted from Helena and Tom in Stoke. Big shout out to you guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, but the potatoes we keep having to obviously cover them over, and the thing is with that is it's bizarre because the mound is so high now, it's fallen out of where I've put them in, which is. Mr. B, if you still want a baggy cardi, if so, tweet. Do you know what, Alex? Of course, I want a baggy cardi. Everyone in their right mind wants a baggy cardi. I love cardis. I'm just doing this. Yes, that's done. Just screenshot that so I can get hold of you. Of course, I want a baggy cardi. Everyone should have a baggy cardi. I love baggy cardis. I love cardis anyway. I've always loved them. But what I really love is big, really big, baggy ones. Not just kind of this ones that are just normal cardis. Are kind of like, I want one that looks just baggy. I want it to look old before it's even on. But that's it. Holly, how are you doing? Yeah, well, glad you're doing well. Yeah, we're all doing good here. Lots of hellos. Have you got any questions? Chuck them out. As always, you should get Yvette to knit you one. Do you know, Yvette knitted me a scarf. It's my favourite scarf in the world, and it must be about 10 foot long, and it's brilliant. Whatever, go to Graceland. And film there, you feel Elvis. You've been 4 times and booked for November 17th this year. Well, isn't Graceland the second only to the White House for as the America's most popular tourist attraction? I'd love to go. I would. It's a difficult one because there's so much known about Elvis. Even if you've got some information about him, it'd have to be something so good to know that it was definitely him that wasn't publicised. And a lot of the stuff is all publicised. But I'd love to go anyway because I'm, you know, a huge Elvis fan. Then anyway, everyone should be a most haunted fan, an Elvis fan. Have you had any thoughts about saving? Crumbs, where is it? I've lost it. Catherine Cook, how's it going? Good grow. Fort Paul. Yeah, I'd love to say Fort Paul, but it's too far for me to. It's really too far for us to have it as a base or a location because we couldn't keep an eye on it. And I'm pretty sure developers would jump on that and push the prices up and what have you. It's a shame because it's such a huge place with a fantastic history, and it should be saved. It should be saved. God, how do people drink that? How do people drink that? Apparently it's good for the blood. Are you into martial arts? Yes, very much, Jackie. I think it's one of those things when you train to a certain level, it becomes a part of you, and I think you always train, and so yeah, I still train, and I love it. It's something that's been a part of my life for so long. I'd feel weird not doing it. I'm scared not to do it because I think if I did, I'd probably fall apart. I'd get all stiff. G&T, no, crumbs, I couldn't do, Tim, I couldn't do G&T, mate. I couldn't. Yvette loves a nice G&T, but I couldn't, no, I couldn't do G&T. Wow, there's lots of sort of clip of Graceland and a couple of orbs on Facebook. Great. But the thing is, yeah, I mean, obviously Elvis wasn't the first person to live there. It used to be a chapel, I think, before he bought it. And yeah, so why wouldn't it be haunted? Have you considered using equipment to measure infrasound? Yes, we have. We have actually used it. We've used infrasound recordings in the past. I think we did it on one of the lives, and we did it on one of the series as well. What's your biggest... oh, crumbs. I just get one of something about what's your biggest something or other. And it went... Let me see if I can find it. I know you're asking if Yvette will do a Q&A with me. We've done them together in the past, but Yvette usually does something on a Saturday. I can't. I've lost it now. Oh, hang on. What has been your biggest learning on the paranormal? Yeah, Matthew, that's a good question. I think I think for me the learning part has been if it's about specific the actual ghosts or spirits or whatever it is you want to call them. I hate it when people say, "Oh, they don't like being called ghosts." How do they know? No one knows what they like to be called or not. But I think for me, it's everything's different. There's not one thing that makes that is. You can't say a ghost does this and a ghost does that, or spirit of a dead person does this or does that. It's all different. And I love it, and there's never a day goes by where you're not surprised by it, by something that happens. Scott Coins, hi Carl, Yvette and Mary, I hope you're all well. I look forward to streams and chats each week on here and the app. You're all awesome. Oh, thanks, Scott. Do you know what? That's really kind. I appreciate that. Rebecca, I remember the ghost. I remember the ghost that was in love with you at Fyvie Castle. Do you know what? We were only talking about that the other day, Rebecca, and I couldn't remember where it was, but it was Fyvie Castle. Thanks for that. Didn't you think I was Dougal or someone? Or am I just gone back to my childhood and thinking I'm on the Magic Roundabout? I can't remember. That was a good one. Right, what we got? Right, let's go up. Do you think you'll ever stop ghost hunting? Stable boy called Dougal. Thanks, Hazel. I think as long as I'm able to do ghost hunting, I would do ghost hunting. I always will, and I think that I don't think there's an age limit on it. I think I'll always have a passion for it because, like I said earlier, one of the things I've learned most is that everything is always different. You never have the same experience twice, really, and that's one of the things that keeps you going. Hang on. Oh, Michelle, thanks for. Eddie says thank you for his birthday wish. Now, I've got a good friend of mine, Eddie, whose birthday was it yesterday? He's such a lovely lad, and so Eddie, it's to you, mate, and I hope you had a lovely day. Well, I know you'd have had a lovely day because your mum's fab, and so Michelle, you're very welcome, and you've got a great lad there. Hi from Ohio. God, Ohio, I love it. Hi from Scotland. Oh, we've got everyone again from all over the place. Would you investigate battle sites in the UK? Edge Hill? Yes, would. Absolutely. We've done battle sites before. Huge fans. This is from Craig Douglas. Huge fan of these chats from the Douglas family. Oh, thanks, Craig. I hope your family are all well. I think the thing is with battle sites, I mean, they're very emotive, and and again, it's all this thing about energy, and I just happen to believe that that it's all about energy, and that the more positive energy you get in, the more stuff you'll have. And I think that obviously in a battle, you're going to have an awful lot of energy, fear, excitement, joy of winning, fear of losing. So I think battlefields are always great places to go and do. Now, someone's asked me if I've ever done archery. Yes, I've got a few bows and lots of arrows. I've got a few bows. I used to do archery an awful lot more than I do now. I haven't done it for a while, but I used to love archery. It was a lot of fun. Gee, I'd love a cup of tea, sweetheart, and my gorgeous wife. It'll make a noise, but that's fine. Everyone knows that you're making a cup of tea. Isn't she gorgeous? Tea would be lovely. Thank you, Gorge. Hello from Cornwall. Hello, Cornwall. Cornwall is missing you, and I tell you what, we're missing Cornwall. We really are. We're trying to sort our house out down there. And once we've sorted that out, it'll be greatly. James, can Watson and Albert have a play date sometime? Yeah, of course we can. I think actually it'll be quite fun watching Albert and Watson together. Albert, by the way, it's not James's granddad or anyone. Albert is James's dog. James and Laura's dog. Dark Nurse. Is there rumours at Pendle Hill? There were rumours at Pendle Hill something paranormal followed you home? No, nothing followed us home from Pendle Hill. I've mentioned it before on one of these chats, but I personally don't believe anything can follow you home. And it's a little bit of a trying to get your mind on a different track, because a lot of people ask. It's one of the big things when we do the events. When you ask people what they're afraid of, they'll say, yeah, they're afraid of Ouija boards, which again, there's nothing to be afraid of in Ouija boards. And the saying is, there because something follow you home. And if you think that if ghosts followed people home, nowhere would be haunted because they'd all have left with somebody else already. So they can't. And why would they pick one of us to follow us home if they've been there for a couple of 100 years? And with the thousands of people that have been through, and in some cases hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, in that time, why would they pick one of us that night to follow home? It just doesn't happen. That's kind of a rumour that was made up by fake psychics, not real ones, fake ones, because they can earn a great deal of money off of you, off of your fear, if you think something's followed you home.
Unless it's in a story.
Unless what?
Unless it's in a story.
Unless it's in a storybook. Yvette's writing another book at the moment, and she's got in the book about something following them home. But that's a slightly different thing, because I do believe things are with you and they follow you, but that's a different matter. And that's but they're your loved ones. They're people who are with you generally anyway. That's what I believe anyway. Erika, will I go to Loftus Hall? Yeah, absolutely. I'd go anywhere, absolutely anywhere. There's nowhere I wouldn't go. Hi Carl, what are your thoughts on Ed and Lorraine Warren? Have they influenced you in any way whatsoever the year? I have no idea who they are. No, I don't know who they are. Who do you know? Who Ed and Lorraine Warren?
No, they're mediums.
I have no idea. No, I don't know who they are. So the answer, the quick answer, that would be nah. I don't mean to be flippant. I just don't know who they are, and I don't mean disrespectful. But that's just, it is what it is. Would I go back to Mitchell Priory? Yes. Yes, Chrissy, I would. And you're from from Brighton. Yeah, I'd love to go back to. There. Ed and Lorraine, one of the people who investigated. Yeah, thank you. And in bold capitals, as you're shouting at me, like it's something I should know. But because I don't really truly believe that Amityville was haunted, it's not something that I've really looked at. So I wouldn't know who Ed and Lorraine Warren were. If they investigate it, I'm not saying it's not haunted. I don't think it's haunted by what people think it's haunted by. What? Do you want tea or coffee? Tea still.
For the third time, sorry.
Bless you.
Memories going.
I think they were involved in the Amityville horror. The trouble is with the Amityville place, there's so much money made out of it, and yeah, and that's why I think there's a lot of hello Alison, by the way. I think that's why there's a lot of controversy about it, because I think a lot of people make money out of it, and I think some people do. I think it may have been haunted, but it's like all these things. They overplay it. They make it more than it was. A little bit similar to the Enfield Poltergeist. I mean, the two girls there. It was definitely a haunted place, and there's so many eyewitness accounts of that place being haunted. But a lot of people discounted it because they said some of the girls may have made something up, and even the girls said that they did. Thank you, darling. Cup of tea from my gorgeous wife. That's a podcast, dude. Can I say happy birthday to Ashley? It's tomorrow. Ashley, happy birthday tomorrow. And hello, Nikki. So it's has anyone been hurt or killed seriously? Do you know what? I don't know if anyone's been killed. I keep saying, when people ask me about it, because I keep saying there's nothing to be afraid of. No one's died from a ghost hunt yet, and I don't think anyone has died, unless they've fallen from something. They've
Could have nearly died.
Sorry?
Could have nearly died. You and Stuart.
Yeah, we've been to places where we've been in a situation where you potentially, an inch to the left or inch to the right, you could have probably died.
Eastern State Penitentiary, when you or Stuart fell off the thing and fell into the net.
Yeah. I mean and if the net wasn't there, you could have died. But I think that I don't know, but no one, as far as I'm aware, no one's died. I mean, you can get injured. We've been injured. I mean, as you know, you've seen before that the you know, that there is the scarf that I got from East Drive, so that's still there, and that's going to be there forever. Stuart's got one very similar. Patrick and the lovely Claire send their love, and I send it straight back to you. What's that? What? You bet she's going, oh my God, what? 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 Oh, crap. Got ants.
In the dishwasher?
How'd they get in the bloody dishwasher?
I don't know.
We got ants in the dishwasher. Well, one of you come out and help us out, clean it out. Would you ever go to the Mermaid Inn? Yeah, the Mermaid Inn was great. When we filmed at the Mermaid, it was quite funny because people there were...
Sorry.
there were still people actually staying there, and we were told we couldn't go into certain rooms. And there was one point where we were given a parameters where we could go. We went down these back stairs, and we were walking down. We heard a noise in one of the rooms, which we thought was empty. We opened up there. It was a couple in bed. You didn't see that on the telly. Katie, what motivates you? Tell Yvette. Katie misses your beautiful face.
Well, that's very sweet, but you don't want to see my face today.
I mean, I think she's got no makeup on. But she's one of these women that just never needs makeup. She's the most beautiful thing on the planet.
A bag of our homemade lettuce.
Oh yeah, it's a bag of our homemade lettuce. Well, not homemade lettuce, homegrown lettuce.
Homegrown.
Oh, hang on. Look, the bit I picked out to show. Let's dig out a proper leaf. Oh no, it's actually, we haven't got many. Oh, there's you go. There's a good leaf. There you go. There's that. That's what you guys saw us plant, and it's grown. They're wonderful. I actually went out this morning. I was up very early this morning. I was up at got 5:30, I think, and I went outside to have a look at everything, just the birds and all that, early in the morning. And I got to where that was, and I started eating. So I was just sitting there eating very, very fresh lettuce. What motivates you? You know, Katie, I have to say, you're probably going to sort of roll your eyes at this, but Yvette, she brings an absolute joy. She's not in the kitchen at the moment, so it's not because she's here. She brings an absolute joy to. Oh, actually, she's just walked in, but she just brings a joy to my face. It motivates me every single day. But just doing the ghost hunts and stuff, I would say it's the fun of it. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. It's Kim, love you guys. Have you ever, if you and Yvette had never met, God forbid, do you think your lives, how different your lives? Lives would be very different. Would I investigate? This is from Tasha. Ickworth Hall in. Yeah, I would. Would love to come to anywhere, especially Suffolk. I love it. But if Yvette and I had met, it's funny, isn't it? You look at, sometimes you look at where you are in life and you think, what got you here? What was the moment that got you at this point? And I think when I look at Yvette, I try and think, where did we? If you could only see. See, I would turn this round, but if I put me off now, if I oh my word, I need some wine. You can't be doing it. Hang on 1 second. Oh. Sorry, Yvelle's put me off then. In a seductive way. No, I'm not drunk, not yet. Wine. Whatever happened to Dover Castle? Yes, we actually did Dover Castle in with a Most Haunted Experience. Yeah, if we hadn't met, our lives would be so different because I obviously I'd still be a cameraman probably because you need things to merge for things to happen, and Yvette would still be she'd still be a presenter as she is already, but I'd probably just be a lonely old man sitting on my own, wishing that something. Do you plan to come back on TV? or is something that just happened? Did you plan to work on TV? Oh, did I? Sorry, I wanted to. I wanted to be I was a child actor when I was younger, and I did quite a few bits and bobs. Katie's saying your telly vet, she's beautiful no matter what.
That's very kind.
She's only telling the truth. Anyway, she's what was I talking about? Oh yeah, TV, and it was when I did a commercial for I was about 12, 13. I did a commercial for Shoot magazine, which is a football magazine. Back in the day, and I just the guy was doing camera work, and that just fascinated me, watching this guy with this huge camera moving it around, and I spent more time talking to him, and I fell in love with camera work, and so from then I just wanted to be a cameraman, and I have to say it was the best job anyone could ever do. I absolutely loved it. It obviously had its ups and downs like everything else, but 1 minute you could be on a 180-foot crane. Doing the rugby at Wimbledon or Twickenham or wherever, and in the pouring rain, getting soaking wet through, and 2 days later you could be in the Bahamas or Bali doing stuff. So it's absolutely great, load of fun. Will I be shaving my beard for lockdown for charity? I am going to. I'm going to shave it when probably in the next week or so. It's been fine. It's been a lot of fun, but it's not really me. I don't think. And there's some people like it, some people don't. But I would say, go back to the TV thing. If anyone wants to work in telly, it's the greatest. It really, truly is the greatest job. My camera work took me around the world several times. It took me to the most amazing places I've seen. I've been scared out of my wits. I've been shot at. I've been. And yet you've seen the poverty that the world can have. You've seen the destruction man can do to mankind, and you see the other side. You see the kindness. You see the love as well. So it's a great job, really is. Hayley, what were the Happy Mondays like to work with? Do you know the Happy Mondays? I have to say, when we were hang on, what a ghost who shouted purgatory at Yvette. Who was the ghost that shouted purgatory at Yvette? I remember talking about it on one of the episodes, but couldn't find out what it was. Sweetheart.
Sorry?
Do you remember a ghost shouted purgatory at you?
Vaguely. What was which
We
one?
were just trying to find out which one it was, but we
No,
can't.
I can't remember.
Happy Monday. Sorry, I get sidetracked. It's like the two Ronnies. When we sort of mentioned that we could do a show with them, I was apprehensive. I really wanted to do it because obviously they're Happy Mondays, but obviously they've got a huge reputation that goes before them, and the way it works with television, certainly in that job which we did for ITV2, that we usually they pay for the programme. But in this instance, and with lots of programs, that you have to, as the production company, you have to fund it. And the budgets on those were very, very high. I mean, they were ridiculous. If it had gone wrong, it was bankruptcy. It was that amount of money. And I remember the channel, and I said, well, as long as they're in, it'll be fine. And they said, no, they have to be in every single part, otherwise we won't accept the programme. So it worried me. It really did worry me because I thought of the drugs and the drink and all this. And when we turned up, they were all drinking out of bottles. They were drinking brandy, I think it was, wasn't it?
Sorry?
Happy Mondays. Drinking, wasn't it? Did they have half bottles of brandy each or something?
Brandy, whiskey, yeah.
Brandy, yeah. And we literally thought, oh God, as the producer and director, I'm thinking, oh no, this is going to cost me a fortune. And I have to say, and I've shouted this from the highest rooftops I can, and every broadcaster I work with, I keep saying, if you ever get the chance to work with Happy Mondays, just say yes. They were, without doubt, some of the most professional, lovely, kind people I've ever worked with. They truly were. They did everything they were asked to do. They were really into it. They really got into it. And, They had a little bit of a drink, but none of them was drunk. None of them was worse for wear, and they thoroughly enjoyed it. And so I kind of, yeah, great to sort of answer your question. They were brilliant to work with. That's not very nice, Savita. Let's get rid of you because you're being a bit of a dick.
Why? What's she saying?
Oh, just
Crap.
yeah. Let's put her in a naughty step. Time out. Just rewatched Stand and Hall. Do you ever get nervous before filming? One of my favourite bits before filming is the drive up to the location, because when you see it, you obviously don't know how the evening's going to unfold. So you think, do you know what? I've got to. It's anticipation, not fear, and I can't wait to get in. I really can't. I love it, and I love being in the environment. I love when the filming starts, because quite often you don't know, you're not sure if stuff's going to kick off when you're just doing the pieces to camera with Yvette and what have you. And we've got one which is an episode you haven't seen yet, which will be in the new series, and we're at one location, and I would say almost the first, it's a 3-parter, and the first part is literally people trying to get their shots done, because stuff was happening all over the place, and I love it. Kieran, sorry mate, I know you've been trying to get this through. Will there ever be an episode or Most Haunted event in the Northeast? We do them in the Northeast, I'm sure we do. So the answer to that, my friend, is yes. Have a look at the page. Obviously, I know it's all gone a bit nuts now, but we've done them in the Northeast. I know we have. But anyway, I'll check. Well, you can check. You can have a look on the page, but I'm sure we are. Do you both, as experts, think our family don't show themselves or contact us when we are... Contact us when we ask, I'm assuming that means, because they're scared of scaring us. First off, Rebecca, and it's not, no one's an expert. We just all do our thing. There's no, anyone who calls himself a paranormal expert is an idiot. The only paranormal experts there are dead people. But do you know what? I think sometimes that could be the case. That I think you've got to, again, it's about energy. I think you really need to. Put out the good energy and ask for it to come, and I think that it will slowly, but keep saying, I want it. Don't scare us, but do it slowly. Let's get biscuits out there. Does anyone want a biscuit?
Would you like a finger?
Would I like a finger? No, I'm fine, thank you very much.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm.
It's special.
No, I had one earlier.
It's a Viennese one.
Oh, it's a Viennese finger. Yeah, so that's the thing. What's the silliest thing I've ever done when I'm drunk? Well, I don't get drunk. See, I'm not a drinker. Never have been. I'm not saying I haven't been drunk. I just don't drink. Okay, what's the silliest thing? Angie wants a bicky, please. Angie Young, she wants a bicky. She wants one right now. Rebecca wants some cheesy balls. Go on, go out to her. There you go. That's yours. It looks like it's already been eaten and passed out. Do I believe that our loved ones come to us in our dreams? Yeah, I do. What do you think, sweetheart?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
Oh, I've told that story. Have I told you the story? No, you know.
Come close and tell the story.
Okay.
Do you want to go on camera? Because
I'm
she's...
joking. So, I had the most amazing dream. I'm not coming on because I've got sun cream and sweaty and I'm covered in grass and bits and bobs because I've been gardening.
I think she looks really sexy.
I don't want to scare everyone. But I had this amazing dream and it was so vivid. And it was, I'd walked into this room and it was filled with beautiful white light. And my dad walked in and it was unbelievable. He was about 30 years of age and he died in his 70s. His skin was so amazing. His eyes were piercing blue. He had a full head of hair. He looked so healthy. He wore a short-sleeved linen, like a dusky blue linen shirt and a pair of chinos. And he hugged me and I hugged him. And it was the most amazing feeling, and it was so real, and there was nothing but absolute love, and it was so intense that I woke up, tears streaming down my face. And I think something like a week later, he came through via knocking and the tapping. And I asked him, was that dream real? And he said, yes, it was him coming to visit me and show me how much he loved me.
But I think that's
And
beautiful.
I'll never ever forget it. And I was on such a high for months after that. So
So
yes, they do come through to you in your dreams.
Just so you know, someone said they can see you through the reflection of glasses.
Excellent.
That's why I was I kept looking to see if I could carry on the rhythm.
I'm not vain. I just don't want to frighten everyone.
You're not friendly. Everyone wants to see your face. They really do.
Can you see me now?
There she is. Did you get to the bottom of the child's voice in the Queen Mary? Mummy, still children. Do you know what?
No.
But the weird thing is, it's been heard since, and it's one of those things that's been heard an awful lot there. So, you know, I mean, when you think that is, you know, it's yeah, it's bizarre. What's my favourite bow? Do you know? I wouldn't even know. I mean, I used to. I tried longbow, but that was too. It was too much. So I've got one of these carbon doodahs. It's not a recurve. It's not one of those. It's just a straightforward, because I prefer basic stuff. I don't go into all the what's this compound bow for me. Yeah, compound bow's great. Are you using any technology to try and communicate with the spirit? Well, we've used it. We've done it. A lot of people sort of say, "Why don't you use technology?" But we have. Most Haunted was the first to use just about everything that's on the market. We used all the EVP stuff, with the Frank's boxes it used to be called when it first started. The trouble is, we'll only use stuff that we know that works, and you've got to remember is electronic equipment. EVP is good because it's a straightforward recording device, and if it picks up something that isn't there, it's great. EMF stuff is great because that just picks up on electromagnetic fields. If there's no electricity anywhere and it comes off, that's great. But a lot of the other stuff, every single piece of equipment that you use for ghost hunting was designed for something else, and somebody went, "Oh, that'll work for ghost hunting." And they adapt it for ghost hunting. And the fact that we've never caught a ghost and contained one, we've never analysed it, so we don't know what they're made of. So how can we make a machine that will detect it when we have no idea what they're made of?
But the telephone and the TV.
Yeah, I mean, the telephone and the TV, a lot of people don't realise, but the telephone and the TV were both invented originally to try and talk to the dead. And they became other things as well. In fact, that's the opposite, isn't it? Because these other things were started for something else, and they used them for paranormal investigations. Whereas the telephone and the TV were started as paranormal investigation, for paranormal purposes, and became something else. Now, this is Rebecca saying this to you, sweetheart.
Okay.
You are beautiful, Yvette. I think you're sensitive, but suppress it. Did your kids see the ghosts when they were young in the house? Yes, they did. In fact, when we first moved here, the first sighting we had was William when he was just a kid. He came down in an absolute state because he just saw a set of legs walking up the stairs. But yeah, they both seen stuff. I mean, Mary used to see her grandma Mary, who she's named after, at our old house. But here she's both of them have seen stuff because a lot goes on here. It's all nice, but. Did I ever meet Peter Cushing? No, I didn't, sadly. I mean, somebody asked me what my favourite Peter Cushing film was earlier, and I forgot to reply. I think it's Island of Terror, which is an absolute brilliant film. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, yeah, Peter Cushing had this ability to make a kind of a bad script brilliant just by being Peter Cushing. And there's also Night of the Big Heat, which he was absolutely superb in. And the funny thing was, because there's sort of two of my favourite Peter Cushing movies, and they, the producers.
See you in a bit.
I love you, darling.
Goodbye, everyone.
Are you all right, sweetie? So you've had gone off to bed. Hello, Kathleen. How are you, darling? And she and I actually didn't realise it, but I was employing and I employed for about 2 years, and I think she'd been working for me for 6 months till I realised that I was actually employing the granddaughter of the producer of both those movies, and she had some fantastic stories, just remarkable stories of them doing shots, and her mum coming out with, in the middle of shooting, with tea and coffee and cake for Peter Cushing. And in one of the movies, Night of the Big Heat, we had Christopher Lee in as well. So they had this, just coming out with tea and cake in the back garden because they were doing some filming. It's just absolutely brilliant. But I never met Peter Cushing, and it's one of those I really wish I had, because, like I said before, one of the reasons I love about him is, in this industry, anything to do with the media and entertainment, it's full of jealousy and backstabbing and all this kind of stuff, which can be very horrible. And it's very rare that you get anyone that will not, that has nothing but good to say about people. And there isn't one person I've ever heard have said anything bad about Peter Cushing. Just a lovely, lovely man. And I kind of got huge respect for that. He was just apparently a lovely, lovely man. Yeah, and Vincent Price, of course. And I said this before, but I actually do in my collection, because I collect stuff. I got Vincent Price's last passport. I have no idea why. I mean, I've got Peter Cushing's. Weirdly enough, I've actually got Peter Cushing's travel kit where he used to shave with as well. Right, you said you're a collector. What sort of things do you collect? I collect. The problem I have is I think it was when I was younger, we just didn't have anything. We didn't have any money and anything. So when I got older, and I could collect things. I did, and I kind of think it was I go a little bit overboard with it. So I collect. I collect a lot of Hammer stuff, generally Peter Cushing stuff, because I did start. My collection was getting just too big, and certainly too big to put anywhere. So I've narrowed it down to just Peter Cushing stuff now, and unless something really special comes up, I'll pick that. But I collect a lot of crime ephemera, nooses, and I've got a lot of. In fact, I'll do this next week if you like. I've got a lot of letters from death cells and all this kind of stuff. And also I collect. I've got a huge passion for ships. The ones that have been sunk, I should say. The Lusitania is a huge passion of mine because one of my relatives was on it when it was sunk by a German submarine in 1915. So I collect anything to do with the Lusitania, but also with things like the RMS Olympic. These are all sister ships to the Titanic, so they were the same ship as the Titanic. But the Olympic is still the only passenger ship that sank a submarine. And you think the bravery of it was immense. They saw the wake of the submarine. And instead of trying to outrun it, they turned towards it and they rammed it and sank it, which saved all the lives of the people on board. And also you've got the Mauritania, which is another ship. Again, that was fired on by 2 German torpedoes from the. And when you think the torpedoes were coming towards the ship, and the only thing you can do is you can't outrun it, obviously, because the ships are too big. And so they actually put the ship head on to the torpedoes, and a torpedo needs a flat surface to ignite, and so they sailed right. I mean, brilliant captaincy of that ship, and the torpedoes hit the sides and went off, and it was saved. Just amazing. Anyway, sorry, I'll waffle on. Actually, yes. No. So I apologise. Someone's been asking about Jake. Now, Jake, for those of you who don't know, was something that kept coming up. On time and time again. We did some of the lives, and this entity called Jake said, "I'm following you. I'm with you." and this goes back to people saying, yeah, when I said I don't think things followed you, we did one show where he came through, and I just said, you're not the same Jake, you're something else, and it came back on the Ouija board saying, yes, it's your fear. And I think a lot of people around the table were afraid of this Jake character. So I think that's again, if you're fearful of something, it can play on that, and I think that's what that Jake thing was. I assume, but have we sorted out for what we're doing on Halloween? Yes, we have. Bit of a secret at the moment, but yeah. Yeah, we'll be letting you know what's going to happen on Halloween. Oh, bless you. Thank you for doing this for us. You're very welcome. Thank you for sticking with us for all this, and certainly through this really difficult, weird time, because it's a strange old time for everyone. Do I believe in the white noise thing? Do you know what? Yeah, I kind of do. And why not? I mean, I'm open to absolutely everything. You have to be, because I think if you shut your mind off to any possibility, you could potentially be missing out on something great. And I think the white noise thing is super. I've seen some amazing stuff from it. So and white noise is really what they were picking up when they first did the first TV. It was nothing but white noise. And now isn't there something about the part of the white noise is something to do with the Big Bang that happened with dinosaurs, or fallout from that still? I don't know. And if it is, it should kind of a proof that energy is still all there. What are your thoughts on spirit boxes? Lee, you and I think we were on the same wavelength. The problem with spirit boxes is that there was a kind of a bit of a scam going on with a lot of the ones you can download, and some of the ones you can buy. They already had words pre-programmed into them. So some of the more advanced ones, if I said something like, can you tell me your name? Because I said the word name, it would recognize name, and it would come up with a name. And then I'd say, how old are you? Because it said how old, it will come up with an age. Are you a boy or girl? It will come up with a response. And I think that when they got found out, it kind of, for me, I've always been skeptical about this, and the ones that go through the radio waves, they're just, with all due respect, it's just pareidolia. If you're scanning radio waves and people think, I've heard one explanation where the spirit is finding a DJ somewhere in the world with a word, and that's the word that it's trying to tell you. Really, that's clutching at straws to the extreme, I think, because there are millions at any one time of radio presenters and broadcasters doing that. So I think, I'm with you, mate, Lee. I'm not a huge fan of spirit boxes. I just think EVP. You record something, if there's nothing else there and nothing is said after you say, can you tell me your name? And when you listen back to it, a name comes up. It's pure. It's got to be, it's got to be something good. Do I remember Village of the Damned? Now, do you know what? How's this, Kieran? Village of the Damned was one of my most successful lives ever. And do you know, it took me weeks to convince the channel that we should do it. Because they wanted us to go and do a pub for the live, and I said, no, this is an old asylum. This has got great stuff. It's got great stories. It's huge. We spent 5 nights there. I think it's got its own church. It's got its own chapel. It's got its own mortuary. It's got its labyrinth of tunnels. It's fantastic, and the stories that went with it are just fantastic. And literally, the commissioner at the time, he was, well, I don't know whether that's really going to work for Most Haunted. So anyway, we kind of forced well, we didn't force it. We said it has to go there, and we did. And of course, it was our most. I think it was either the most successful live or the second most successful live we ever did, as far as viewing figures are concerned. Absolutely superb. It's a shame what's happened to it since, but that's down to the owners. They should have looked after the property more, in my opinion. But that's all it is, my opinion. Someone asking how Mary is. Mary, she had a bit of. She had mild food poisoning, bless her, and she's been ill for a couple of days. But she's much better today, which is nice. Yeah, so she's yeah. Anyway, but she's not better. Yeah, she was. It's nice to see her smile today. She was ill a couple of days ago. It was only mild food poisoning, but she ate some sushi, and I think she left it. She went out to get the sushi, and I think she left it in the car for too long before she ate it. But hey, would I go back to the Northwest for most haunted, and where would you like to visit? Northwest. Well, I live in the Northwest, so yeah, anywhere around here is good. Doesn't take me long to get there. Another hello. Oh, Matt. Hello, Matt. How are you, my friend? It's lovely, Matt from Cornwall. Great to see you guys at Lancaster Castle now. The prison is closed. Yeah, do you know what? I kind of think there's a with prisons. We always get good stuff out of prisons, and again, it's like the battlefield thing we were talking about earlier. It's about feeling energy and emotion that must have gone on. And in prisons, let's face it, nobody wants to be in a prison. Well, unless they're a little bit warped. And even the prison officers there who do a great job, they've got a bloody hard job to do. They don't want to be on a wing that could potentially be violent. They do it, and the majority of them do an absolutely great job with that. And so I think with anyone there, prisons are just constantly full of negative energy, which is. But Patrick, what martial arts are you learning? Well, I kind of teach really, but I mean obviously you're always learning. But I study Wado-ryu and Rikyu-kenpo. They're the two main styles I train with. But I've also studied Aikido, Aido. I've done some Kung Fu styles, Silat Kung Fu, Wing Chun, and when I was in America, I tried this American sport karate thing, but it just didn't work for me because it was too much. It was one of those. How can you put it? It's they're all standing there, and it's this one punch, and it's point fighting. I've never understood the point. I've never really understood the reason for doing any kind of point fighting. Yeah, you should. That's why I've always preferred to be in a ring, and you fight until one of you can't stand up, or it's purer, and that's what makes me feel like I'm a thug. Can I swear? Yeah, you can swear. Sorry, somebody asked if they can swear. I said, just you can swear. What is the most haunted episode? What is the best most haunted episode on YouTube? And come and watch it after this live is over. The funny thing, do you know what? The most recent extra that we did at Gloucester Prison, I find that absolutely amazing. I actually got scared crapless there. It really, the door slammed. I couldn't. I never found out which door it was, but it was so loud, and it took me off my feet a little bit because it's. I turned around because I thought something was coming at me. But if you get the chance, it's on YouTube here on this channel. So have a look at the Gloucester Prison extra. Stuart and me, it's Stuart's in one bit and I'm in the other. Stuart gets some great stuff. It's great. Kira and I live in a place where the serial killer lived. She was called Mary Ann Cotton. Now, Mary Ann Cotton, I have Mary Ann Cotton's death cell letters that she wrote from obviously her death cell before she was executed. Mary Ann Cotton killed many people. She was only convicted of killing one, her stepson, Joseph, but they reckon she killed 11 of her 13 children, all for money. I know they did I think ITV or somebody did a film of her, and they painted her as a bit more of a victim and she wasn't a victim. She was an evil human being that really did deserve the end she got. And when she was in prison, her execution was stayed for a while. It was put off for some time because she was pregnant with yet another child. But she called her husbands, she called boyfriends, she had affairs, she killed her own children. And part of my collection of stuff from her is I've also got the court transcripts of it, and I have the Prudential Insurance. Believe it or not, it was the Prudential Insurance she was with, and that's why she killed her kids. It was for the insurance money, and I've got the note that the Prudential Insurance guy wrote and said, "This is one too many. We need to check this out," and that was what set her on the road to the gallows. Greengate Brewery. Do you know what? Greengate pops up as one of people's favourites, and it's that bloody barrel. It fascinates me every time I watch it too. I love it. Do I believe in ancient aliens? Again, it's one of those things that I'm open-minded to absolutely anything. Absolutely anything. Ancient alien, well, why not? We don't know. No one has a yes or no on it. But people have theories, and of course, I'm very much open to ancient aliens. I've not seen the TV series on it. I think it's on National Geographic. I think, which maybe I should. Where in the UK is the most haunted place that you would? Where is the most haunted place that you've ever been to? It's difficult. It's really difficult because most haunted in different ways, isn't there? There's most haunted as in scary haunting. There's most haunted as in quantity of ghosts, and there's most haunted in just general activity. I still think one of the most active places we've ever been through if they had locked off cameras all the time, you would definitely catch something. It was Michelin Priory. We had so much stuff happen there. I've not been back there for years, but I'm assuming it's still the same. But a great place. Dark Nurse, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. Oh, no, thank you so much for spending the time to listen to me waffle on. Bless you. I love my afternoon tea with the BTs. And you know what? The BTs love your afternoon tea or our evening cup of tea with you. What was the scariest encounter? Mother-in-law. It's got to be. She's a scary woman. She had a pointed at, and I mean, you don't see it because you don't see her that close, but got a huge moustache. She's a scary woman. You don't get the wrong side of her. Anyway, knowing how you feel about phone apps, would you be opening to try the Necrophonic app? I don't even know what it is. What is the Necrophonic app? Did it bring things back to life again? Because if it's an app that you can download to bring things to life, it must be real. Will you come to Southampton? Yeah, of course I'll come to Southampton. Why not? Of course I'll come to Southampton. Southampton's lovely. I love Southampton. Bombed the crap out of Southampton in the Second World War, didn't they? And they've done a bloody good job of building it back up again. Right, would you not consider to try and get the most haunted catalogue on Netflix? It would be amazing. Yeah, again, we are in talks with people, so I can't say too much. We were in advanced talks before this bloody lockdown thing happened, and everyone went home on furloughs and everything kind of stopped. But we'll be back in those in the next. I'd imagine we're back in talks in the next few weeks. I'm thinking. Oh, it's Frank's box on the phone. Yeah, I mean, the trouble is with Frank's box, we used Frank's box for the first time on television when we did Gettysburg. And the problem is with it is we did I went in there because I'm just not 100% sure that these things work. I went in there with a couple of preconceived words that I would say the box had said to see if anyone agreed with me. And it came out, and a couple of people did agree with what I said, which means that a lot of it was pareidolia and things were being picked up that really shouldn't have been picked up, I don't think. And Frank's box, I think it was good fun. It was a good try, but have you ever heard of Meon Hill in Warwickshire? No, I haven't actually. But I'd love to go there if it's good. Is it good? What goes on there? Why do ghosts always make that moaning sound? I've heard it in my Georgian building. Why do they whisper down our ears? My nan always said, ask what you ask. What do you want? Ask what do you want? That's kind of fucking. That's quite spooky. What do you want? What do you want? I think they moan. I don't know. It's just noises, isn't it? We perceive them as moaning. I just think it's something coming through. If you can imagine, the different planes that we're all in, and one's trying to fuse through to the other, and it comes across as a moan or a bang or a whatever, maybe, I don't know. But there are moans. I mean, you are 100% right. There are moans because you get. We've had it. We've. I mean, in the Birmingham lockup, I mean, I still think that the best piece of EVP we've ever caught was this woman saying no. It was just horrible. Do you think Glenn will ever truly believe in the paranormal spiritual world? Well, Glenn does. You remember, he's a skeptic in the true sense of the term. He's not a cynic. He's not one of those people that just poo-poos everything. If he sees something, he will admit he's seen it. He won't see something and then ask you not to put it on TV because it'd ruin his career. He's experienced things. He acknowledges he's experienced things, but what he's wants to know is it the spirit of a dead person that's doing it? And for that, like most of us, unless it happens directly to you or you see a spirit walking towards you and having a chat, you're not going to believe. And one day he might be able to he might be able to say that he's a believer. I mean, he doesn't deny these things are happening, and like the knocks and the taps. We've both been in places where it's just the two of us, and there's knocks happening around the walls, the doors, the floor, the ceilings, and he knows there's no one else doing it. Something's doing it, some energy's doing it, but he's just not convinced it's the spirit of a dead person doing it. Big shit for me. Robert, you're 40, mate. Now, Robert is a hugely great friend of mine. I've known Robert for many, many years. What the hell is that? Boy, it's a big old insect. We've known each other for a very long time, Robert, and he's a very close friend of mine. And he's 40 on Saturday. Happy birthday for Saturday, my friend. You are a true gent and a very, very good mate. And I know my life's a lot happier with you being in it. Good on you, pal. Super Weird Wonder. My house bangs. See, my mind, anyway. No, I'm not going to go there. So I've just got a dirty mind. I can't help it. My house bangs. Good on your house, as long as it's getting some. Hello, Fudge. Becky's 25th next Friday. Wow. The Ouija Brothers. It's the Ouija Brothers' birthday today. Sarah. Hi, Sarah Mason. I suppose I'm going to start saying about birthdays now. Yes, I have got. I'm sorry, Kim. I've got to date mine. But so have you, because you're on the same wavelength as me. John, good to see you. Hey, good to see you too, John. How are you, my friend? Not your feet moving in the shoes. What? Not your feet moving in your shoes. Could activity be psychic and not occult? I don't think activity is occult. I mean, I give it a name, I guess. I don't think activity itself is psychic. I think it's about energy. I don't think activity is psychic, because you'd have to be psychic to see it and feel it. I think I could have that wrong. But you know, anyway. What's my favourite scary movie? My favourite scary movie is Harry. Hope you're well, Carl. I hope you're well too, Harry, mate. My favourite scary movie. Give me two seconds. I just need to. Alright. Be back in 2 secs. Oh, that was it. Sorry. My favourite scary movie. The trouble is I don't get scared at movies. That's the problem, because it's one thing about being in the industry is you kind of know that it takes the fear away from a lot of stuff, because everything that's going to happen, you kind of know what's going to happen, because you can see the telltale signs of where things are being led, and you know that there's camera ops, sound ops, there's producers, assistant producers, runners, a myriad of other assistant producers there, and money people. So you just know they're surrounded with people behind the scenes. So I see everything as a scene, unfortunately. Rebecca, thanks for taking the time to answer my questions. Hope to meet you one day. Sorry about my spelling. Rebecca, never apologise about your spelling. Mine's worse than anyone's. And thank you very much. Thank you very much. What's my favourite chocolate bar? Ooh. Well, you see, I like marshmallow, and I like that chocolate with the coconut on it. And of course, there's only some I can have, some I can't, some I can, because obviously I'm a vegetarian, and marshmallow, a lot of my marshmallow has cow arse in it. So there's only some that I can have, but when I find it, I absolutely adore it. But I like things with me. I like all my chocolate frozen. I like it being in the freezer for a while. So I'm kind of I like hard chocolate. I love all chocolate, really. I don't like chocolate with orange in it. Why would you do that to ruin two great things? You're ruining the orange and you're ruining the chocolate. Stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. It's not no point. Any plan to analyse old sort of footage in the future? Yeah, we are. We obviously can't. We can't sort of really analyse the old stuff, because that's all owned by Sky, and they're doing their thing with it. But all the new stuff that we did for a living, we are going to do a lot more analysis. We've already got a lot on that analysis. It's just not ever been shown, because the channel really said that they didn't particularly want it. They didn't want to show it because you guys wouldn't be interested in it. Although we did try our hardest. We said we kind of do know our fans, or fans of the paranormal, and but they wouldn't have it. And I think the reason being is because a lot of the time when we've analysed something, there's a lot of proof that it couldn't have been a man-made sound. I mean, we've got sounds that have been analysed by 2 different independent universities, and certainly on more than one occasion we've got the response that the origin of the sound is neither animal, mineral or vegetable. So that means the sound has come from somewhere that we don't know about yet. And we are going to do a lot of analysis because I know you guys want that. We want that, and I think that's just a fascinating thing. When did I become a vegetarian? I became a vegetarian. I've never eaten a lot of meat, to be fair, generally, but probably about 20 years ago, I did a documentary in an abattoir, and I watched a cow taking way too long to die in abject pain and agony. So I think nothing deserves that. Absolutely nothing. Dan, do I have samurai armor? I do. I have a very old antique set of samurai armor. That's I don't keep it here. It's too valuable. It's locked up, and because it's an amazing piece. You stand there and you look at it and you think what it's seen, and it's seen battle, it's seen everything. So yeah, I do. It's a great piece. I love Japanese art. Yeah, so that's. Did you want to previous comment about investigating? Sorry, Natasha, I probably I just went too quickly. About investigating Ickworth Hall. Also, can my mum Dawn try get a big shout out? She's a preschool key worker. Big shout out to Dawn. Oi, key workers, keeping it going. Thanks very much. Right, Debbie Rowley, I'm autistic too. Peace, friend. Sorry for the spelling I've got. Oh, Debbie's saying she's sorry. She's got spelling. She's got autism. Please don't ever apologise for spelling. You won't be a worse speller than me. And God bless you. God bless you, because I know it's and Sonia also you're autistic, and that's you guys. It's a tough thing you live with, and you know, a huge respect and lots of love to you and everyone in the same situation. Right, Carl, my clock stopped, is it? No, it hasn't. Oh, hang on. Oh, where is it? What's happened? What's happened?
Nothing.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm just really hungry. I haven't had dinner.
I'm just saying, everyone was asking how you were earlier.
Oh.
I just said, no one really cares.
I'm okay. Peace sign. My hair's a mess. Don't judge me.
My hair's a mess. I've got a beard. Well, actually, so have you.
Oh, that's cheeky.
Smithbrook Picture Framing Company in Cranley. Where is everyone from? I used to go to Smithbrook Kilns a lot. A friend of mine had a jewellery place there. A friend called Carol. Carol Nichols. She used to have she ran a jewellery shop there. I used to love going to Smithbrook Kilns near Cranley. And one of my closest friends, my oldest friend in the whole world, Jill Hurst. Well, she's not Hurst now. She's married, but she lives in Cranley. Anyway, thank you for getting me through shielding. This is a highlight of my... Oh, bless you. Thank you, Shelley. You should check out a pub in Coventry. It's the Old Courts with cells. I'll have a look at that. Do you think we are spiritual beings having a physical experience? Do you think we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, or do you think we are soul of a person? Right, yeah. But basically, we're saying is are we a spiritual being having a physical experience? And what do I think a spirit stroke soul of a person is? Where do we come from? Well, if I can answer that, I'd start my own religion, and then I'd never have to pay tax ever again. Because if you start your own religion, you don't have to pay tax. Mary's making faces like it's going to put me off. All it's going to do is make me turn this around so everyone can see it.
No. That was my PJs.
Do you know what? I don't know where we're from. I know I came from my mum, and I think my dad had something to do with it. Do you know what? It's a really deep question. I don't know, Laura. I'm being a bit flippant. And I don't know what we are. You know, at the end of the day, we'll all find out one day, and it's too late to tell anyone, unless we can come back and tell them, of course. But they're good questions. They're great to ponder on. Yeah, we got that. Yeah, we got that. Mary goes through food and drink like you wouldn't believe.
Actually, the last cordial bottle mysteriously went missing.
Cordial, yeah, it went missing after Mary found out where it was. Has Yvette got a hot tub? Absolutely not. No, we haven't. We won't have. We never will have. And even if we had one, we'd take it out. No, I'm not a hot tub person. I'm not saying anyone else shouldn't have one. It's just not. They're not for me. I can't see the point. If I want to have a bath, I go upstairs, and if I want to sit outside and enjoy myself. Anyway, yeah, we'll come back to Liverpool soon. Loads of haunted pubs, places. Oh yeah, this is Rebecca. She volunteers in Speak Hall. We've been there, yeah. And I know Speak Hall's one of Paul O'Grady's favourite places. I hate dirt. I hate hot tubs, dirty. Yeah, that's kind of where I am with them. Yes, I mean Liverpool. Funnily enough, is still that's the one that gives us that's on our lives. Gave us the best viewing figures we ever had. I think that prior to Liverpool, it was Denby, and then we went to Liverpool, and they were lovely. Liverpool's always been fantastic. They've just been the Liverpudlians are just such a great bunch of people. They've always been supportive of us, and when we went there, they just shouting across the road that they love the show, and it's just really, really lovely people. Yeah, I love Liverpool, and of course Yvette's a Beatles fan as well. So you know, do we keep in contact with Paul O'Grady over lockdown? Yes, we have. Yeah, keep in contact with all our mates. You know, you've kind of always got to keep in touch with each other as best you can. Yeah, Paul's doing very well. I know there was some talk of him having the coronavirus, which is absolute rubbish. Before he's in great health, and he's as lovely as ever. Any badges? I haven't got any yet, but I don't think I've got the camera set up properly. But I'm going to keep trying, and as soon as I catch them, I shall let you know. I'll probably stick them on air. Do I fancy going to the Hartlepool Marina, doing a ghost hunt on a warship? Oh, I'd love to do. I'd love to do a ghost hunt on a warship. Oh, you just can't get enough. Is there any scary place you wouldn't go? No, there's no place I wouldn't go. I've never been that scared I wouldn't go back. The trouble with fear, when something happens, you start to you for me it pushes me on to do more anyway, because if I'm scared, I don't like being scared, so I want to go back and do more. So what's my doctorate in? Criminology. Just been nosy. There you go, Alex. Did Stu say he'd never go back to the ancient? Yes, Stu said he wouldn't go back to the ancient Ram Inn because for him, you know, he obviously had a bad experience there, and that's really where it was only 2 months after that his hair started to fall out. So you know, for him, he said he won't, but I'll drag him back there one day. Can Yvette give me a birthday shout out, please? Doctor Who fan. Do you know Doctor Who fan? Or should I say David? Sorry. She's actually upstairs now. She'll be upstairs with a Winceyette on and her bed socks and a sleeping hat on.
And a long white nightie.
And a long... No, that's she's got Winceyette, sweetie. You don't know what Winceyette is.
French. I don't really know what that is. What is it?
It's a long nightie. It's a long cotton nightie.
Can it have frills?
I'm sure I don't know what the rules are on Winceyette.
I've never heard of this before. I thought it was a type of hat.
It's a long cottony thing. funnily enough, when Yvette and I first got together, we bought Winsiettes. We both had them. Just a bit of fun.
Yeah, for a bit of fun.
Yeah. Can you tell Mary her Witchcraft Wednesdays is great? I'm not going to, Tracy, because she's next to me and she'll like, darn.
Tracy, thank you. Doesn't Paul look amazing with his beard with his beard and his hair? He looks so handsome. Give him some love, because he really, really does look amazing.
What do you want?
Nothing.
Would you ever go to go something Hastings, the old smugglers caves? Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, anything to do with smuggling the sea and all that kind of stuff and intrigue. I love it's one of those things that I kind of really do love. Right, well, I'm gonna kind of oh, thanks, Chloe. Can't wait to see you again. I haven't seen you for ages. Lovely, Chloe. Will I go back to America to investigate? Of course. America's got some of the most fantastic haunted locations and towns. Yeah, but it's the problem we've got is British broadcasters are selling out to American broadcasters. So what the American broadcasters are doing is getting the American programs to do it and bring them over here, and the British broadcasters aren't getting British stuff and going over there. Which is a bit of a shame. But anyway, you thank you so much for putting up with me again. We've been on for an hour and a half. Anyway, love you all, and hopefully see you again. Well, we'll see you again next week. You stood up.
Just to go bye. The hand in the side. Bye.
So proud.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. What's this, Natasha? So sorry. Ickworth Hall is in Horringer, Suffolk. Ah, not Wickenbrook. It's fine. But we can find it. We'll find it. Don't you worry. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it, and it's been lovely chatting. I've really enjoyed it. It's gone by very quickly, isn't it? An hour and a half, just like that. Anyway, have a good evening, everyone, for whatever's left of it, and I hope you have a fantastic day tomorrow and a superb weekend. Lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.